Welcome to Rick and Dave's Comic Book Hour.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Rick and Dave Comic Book Hour. I'm Rick.
I'm Dave.
And in this issue, we will be reviewing the Comic Book Con in the Burg. And this was held at Holmes County Public Library. Put on a con and mostly cosplay for children. And so we attended that. I did interviews as usual, and Dave actually had a couple tables with comic books and prints.
Yeah.
And how did that go, Dave? How did you go with the
That
prints?
went way better than I thought. I did not know what to expect. I found about this kind of after they already planned it. Our buddy Eric texted us.
Right.
Said, hey, there's going to be a Comic Con at the library. We're like, what? Holy crap. And so I couldn't get to it that week, but I think that was the weekend we went to the Akron show.
Right.
So after we went to the Akron show, a day or two later, I went up to the library, found out who I was supposed to talk to, and talked to her and said, hey, I'm a comic book artist. I'd like to be in your comic book show. And she's like, really? I didn't know there was anybody like that around here. And so I said, well, I got comic books to sell and all this other stuff. And she's like, showed her some of my artwork and whatnot. And she was cool with that. So she gave me 2 tables, didn't charge me anything. And so I had a table full of comic books, a table full of artwork, and there's all kinds of people in there. There's probably 100, 200 people, maybe.
Throughout the whole day?
Yeah, throughout the whole day.
All right, at this show, it wasn't, me and Dave didn't have the table this time. It was Dave and his friend Eric, and they do a strip called The Hit List, and you'll see that interview about that later on. But they did the table, and I did Rick and Dave. And I didn't have a table, I just wandered around with my camera, shooting video, which you'll see later in the show. And I didn't think anybody would show up to this thing, to be honest. I didn't think Dave saw anything.
It was a bright sunny day, Saturday afternoon, 1 to 4.
Yep.
So who knows what you're going to get.
And the first time, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it was publicized that well.
No.
We didn't find out about it. I don't know how anybody found out about it, but I didn't see these flyers anywhere.
Yeah, there was an article on the front page of the paper, not that week, but the week before.
Okay, I didn't.
So there was some of that, but otherwise, I didn't see no posters or heard anything on the radio, even though
when I went to the library website, I didn't see a link to it. It was like it didn't exist, but it did. And cosplay. What do you think about the cosplayers?
I thought they did pretty good for a lot of there's a lot of kids, and some of them made up their own costumes, some of them were store bought, but I thought it turned out pretty good. And there's some adults that dressed up too.
Yes.
And they had a costume contest there by the end of the show,
which you'll see later on.
They gave out door prizes throughout the day too.
Yes, they did. Yes.
And I won the big door prize. I get to go to the zoo.
So, earlier you were talking about a story about the kid with the change, the black comics.
Oh yeah, we were talking earlier.
Tell us that
okay, now this is cool. I had comic books, and there's this kid, I don't know, 8 years old maybe, and he was digging through, and he's picking out Robin and Superman, and then some Captain America, and I think he had an Iron Man thrown in there, and he's like, oh, I want to get these. And I'm like, well, go get your mom, make sure it's okay. So he went off, got his mom, come back. And mom's like, looks good to me, And I said, they're all comic code approved. You know how parents are these days sometimes. So anyway, she's like, it's all right. He's using his own money. It's all right if he pays in change. And I'm like, I don't care. He had a $2 bill, and the rest of it was in change. So I'm sitting there counting all these nickels and dimes to make sure, And sure enough, he had more than enough money, and he walked off happy. That was cool. And then there was another kid later.
But you said he picked out some pretty good comic books.
Yes, he did. I was surprised.
Iron Mans, and what else did he
Captain
pick out?
American,
Captain America,
and he picked out the Robin series from I think it was the first Robin series. I had it all bagged up in one collection.
Was any of that Bronze Age or anything, or no?
I don't know when Robin came out, in the 90s.
But what, the Captain America and the?
No, I think they're a little bit newer ones.
So they were like maybe the modern era.
Yeah, they're a little newer ones.
Okay, but still, they pick out some good titles like that.
So he obviously have seen the movies, so
yeah,
he's picking out comics related to that. So that's be my guess. But he was buying the comics probably because he watched the movies. And how cool is that? There's another kid, he paid me with a handful of quarters too, and about 4 or 5 books, and I had a bunch of garage sale prices, quarter 50 cent kind of stuff, and so he's picking that out. So that was cool. And there was a couple actual collectors came through and bought a stack of books from me, so that was nice. And my Cartoons in Black book actually sold too.
Yeah.
So sold a bunch of those.
And that's what happens when you're the only comic book vendor at a show.
Yeah.
If Dave would not have shown up, there would have been no comic books at this convention to be for sale or anything.
Yeah.
So Dave saved the day.
Yeah, they couldn't have called it a Comic Con. They could have called it Cosplay Con.
Cosplay Con.
Yeah.
But they also had speakers throughout the show too. When outside they had places, and outside they had like things set up for kids to play on and get some more.
Oh yeah, they had face painting and button making and jewelry making and all kinds of stuff for the kids to do.
Yeah, things for kids to do, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. This was very kid oriented. You know, grade schoolers mostly. I guess who was the target.
But adults showed up too.
Yeah, adults showed up and they were buying comic books. One friend of mine, she bought a couple comics for her husband.
Ooh,
and so yeah, she's a good lady. Way to go, Jamie. And I saw him today. He liked what he got. So
okay, sounds like a good plan.
But yeah, so yeah, it turned out they had the elements of a comic book convention there.
Right.
They had all the elements. They had speakers. They had cosplay. They had a dealer and artists. They had authors from different books, and they had people who made costumes. One lady who used to be a professional costume maker. There's the cosplays people. They hung out most of the day, but otherwise there's families coming and going all the time.
So good work there, Holmes County Library. You guys really pulled this one off.
Yes, that's right. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yep. Good day.
Bye.
I'm Michelle Skolmich and head of the Children's Services here at the Holmes County Library. And basically what I do is help with programming, order materials, help patrons find materials, kind of a lot of different little things, anything to do with the children's department.
Is this your idea?
Well, I think it was an idea of all staff members here. Our East Branch manager, Josh Chase, and Christina. She's our adult services and reference person. And of course our department and Kim Hiller, who's the teen person. And we all just decided that with this theme of superheroes, that it would be great to do our own Comic Con as a way to wrap up summer reading. And so we just started throwing ideas together, and this is what it turned out to be.
Okay. So are you pleased with the attendance that you had today?
I am ecstatic at the attendance today. I was not even sure what to expect. We've had a lot of rainy days here recently, and with such a beautiful day right now, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So very pleased with the turnout. A very awesome first time.
And they have a lot of people wearing the costumes with the cosplay contest coming up.
Yes, I am thrilled again with all of the costumes. The kids look great. I actually had to ask what some of the costumes were, but once they mentioned the thoughts behind them, I remember. So that was great, and so I'm really excited to see the contest come into play. Yeah.
So are you hoping this will be an annual event?
Yeah, we're thinking possibly we could make this an annual event. We'd like to do something to bring the community together to work with local talent and to showcase that local talent. And all of us come together to provide something that the people of Holmes County and the surrounding counties may not have a chance to experience. Like this weekend is San Diego's Comic Con, but you know, not very many people can go. And we know Cleveland, and it's expensive, and we know Cincinnati and Cleveland and Columbus have theirs. And again, it's a drive, it's expensive, and so we want to bring some of that here, that experience, and then kind of mold it and shape it, you know, to Holmes County.
As you go along and make improvements and stuff.
Exactly. And we're finding today a lot of local talent, and we've already thought of ways to kind of expand or add some things for next year.
Thank you for the interview, and
you're welcome.
look forward to next year.
All right, thanks, and we'll see you next year.
Yep. All right, welcome to Rick and Dave's Comic Book Hour. I'm Rick.
I'm Dave.
Dave's over there, and that's his partner.
I'm Eric.
Eric, and they do a column together called The Hit List. And so what is that about, really?
It's the adventures of Max and Leela as they fight off popular culture elements that some may find less than desirable.
So it might be a little
Pretty much covers it.
not so PC.
What's that?
Not so PC.
No.
Probably not so much.
So
Less PC the better.
Yeah, we like seeing he doesn't like seeing reality TV stars get beat up.
And you're the writer, of course.
Yes.
And Dave draws it because he's the artist. And how long have you two been doing this?
Oh my, it's a couple years now.
Yeah, at least a couple years or more.
Yeah, I was doing it for a magazine. A buddy of mine worked at a magazine, was running a magazine, and wanted, well, that kind of thing is what he wanted. Just, can we have somebody beating up Justin Bieber or something? And I was like, I can do something. I know an artist. If we can get together and work something out. We did that for, well, over a year.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah, a few times before the magazine kind of just dissipated.
yeah, it was unfortunate that it fell apart, but that's just the way it goes. Definitely perks. He'd hook us up with backstage passes, and got to interview some people and that I did not want to. I'm not an interview person. I have my little bat cave and I type on the keys.
This is the first one we did right here.
Yeah.
It's in Leela.
And which one do you have there?
I really like this one.
We take on Lady Gaga in that one.
This one was with the Juggalos. Yeah. Insane Clown Posse. They're not always successful, but there are more adventures on the way. And
Yeah. So, how would someone find your hit list? Is it on a website?
we have a Facebook page.
What's the Facebook page?
Yeah, you can see all the issues there. I think it's Hit List Comic, I believe.
That's the name?
It's not hard to find.
So just type in hit list and you should pop up.
Hit list and all that.
So you just have the Facebook page and that's cool.
Yep, that's all we got for right now.
There's at least, what, we're up to 15 episodes on that?
Yeah, at least.
Issues or, well, they're mostly 1 or 2 page things like this. So.
Right.
Yeah, we got into that form because we were starting off doing it for a print issue,
Yeah.
1 page. And since that folded, we kind of kept going, and so we've got 2 pagers now and stuff like that.
I think we got 3 kids.
There's one that I think is 3 pages.
But yeah, they're usually pretty short, so they're not real long.
Eventually we'll get a book printed up once we have enough for that, I think.
A collection of your hit list
Yeah,
stuff?
it's a collection in it.
Collection, yeah.
Be a little bit yet.
And you hand colored these, right?
Yeah, I can color them with just about anything. I think these ones here are mostly colored pencil and a little bit of marker. And I've even did a couple of them just straight up just with crayon. I think he mentioned something about crayon.
Yeah.
And I thought I could do that, so I bought me a little pack of crayons, used the whole thing, and it turned out pretty good. So
Yeah, that's an awesome one.
I've used the computer to color them too, so I did that a couple times just because it was a little bit quicker. But
Yeah.
So we had to meet those deadlines.
yeah, back when we had deadlines. Now we don't have deadlines,
So they don't come out as often as they used to.
no, maybe once or twice a year.
It's like
They come out
Eric said.
when we get around to it.
It's like Eric said, when you start getting paid, then you do the deadline stuff.
That's right.
That's right. So if somebody out there wants to buy our hit list strip, put it in their magazine, then we'll be right
Yep,
on top of
right
it.
on top.
Yeah, be on top of it.
We
Crank
never
out.
miss the deadline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd crank one out a month or so.
Yep. Show you the money.
That's right.
See how we work.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, and good luck with the hit list, and talk to you later.
See ya.
My name's Ashley Mishler, and I wrote these 2 books here, One Fairy Night and On Your Tap. I started writing in 6th grade, and I wrote these books when I was 14, and I was able to get them published. I'm 17 now. I really, really loved fantasy ever since I was younger. I loved to read Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, and all those types of books. So I decided I wanted to write some books about a fairy and an elf. My inspiration came from when I was in Power of the Pen in middle school, which is just like a writing club, and I discovered that I really loved it and I did really well in it. So yeah, I wrote these books.
Are those books available like on Amazon or anything like that?
Yes, actually they're available on barnesandnobles.com, and I have a website, ashleymishlerbooks.com.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and have a good convention.
Thank you, you too.
Welcome to Rick and Dave's comic book hour. This is my cosplay from Comic-Con in the Burg. My cosplay is Impa from Hyrule Warriors, which is a Legend of Zelda branch. And it's still in the beta process, so it doesn't have any of the armor or all of the pieces, but it's just my own twist on the cosplay.